You are not dreaming! This is the Ballpark 100 from Eldora! Oh! Oh, you thought that this wasn't happening? Oh, it's happening! It is happening!
Start your engines!
Listen to the roar of the crowd. Every single driver that signed up is here. Here's all of their cars. This is the first heat. This will be the smallest heat. To make sure that the field will be set here. The top 5 drivers. The top 5 drivers will automatically advance to the A main from 6th to 10th. They will also they will go to the B main. Every single one of these paint schemes is available in the Google Drive link below. You can browse the section. You can browse it. There's a section with the paint schemes that I made and the section that Toxic made. Thank you to Toxic Fungus 13. The only reason that this series was able to, this race alone was able to happen. The early leader is going to be Murphy Digert. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but hey, what you gonna do? Second place is going to be... Oh god, I have no idea who anyone's name in this series is. But they're all here. Don't you worry, every single car made the field. Well, they'll race, but they may not make the final race. This is going to be a 20-lap shootout. Whoever finishes in the top 5 is going to be going on to the A main. Whoever finishes 6th to 10th will go to the B main. And once again, all of the paint schemes are available in the Google Drive link down in the description. The winner and the end of the Ballpark 100 will have a guaranteed seat in the 2018 Code Red Series season. Who's it going to be? We're going to have to wait and find out here, as the 64 has the early lead, 92 out in second place. Then it's going to be the 97. Hey, Gabe Nunes, I know that one. And Carl Edwards is driving the 99, so hey, what you going to do with that? There's 2 99s in this race, and the only reason this is possible is because of the numbers that are up in the corner there. Because cars with the same number are not allowed in the same race in NR 2003. So, as a way of creating a solution, that is what I did to change that. So these would be your current drivers that would advance to the A main automatically. These would be the drivers that would advance to the B main. This is the battle for the final transfer spot to the B main, for that matter, between the 79 of Kiwi Behances, I think, and the 71 of NASCAR Jonathan, now being passed by the 38 of something Ross. Look, I'm sorry that I don't know everyone's names. There's 140 cars. There were 140 cars, alright? Cut me some slack, as this heat is just about halfway over. 74's got a strong lead, and 64, I mean, has got a strong lead. They're at the entire event thus far. As we continue to scroll through these paint schemes, Carl Edwards loses a spot to NASCAR legend. And the final transfer spot would be the 79 of Kiwi. But it's going to be a battle between these two. That is without a doubt the case right here. Monster Energy number 38 trying to close the gap behind that 79 car, but up front and closing in, well, not really closing in on lap traffic. This track's pretty short, so you can close in on lap traffic pretty quickly, but it is not going to happen in this case, it looks like, as we continue to scroll through the field here. And now Kiwi's getting to the inside of Vince Lewis. Vince Lewis is this is the worst video, is a She's a Cup Series driver now, driving the 62 for Rich Children Racing. But now he is basically hanging on for dear life to get that final transfer spot into the final race. If you're already one of those drivers locked into the NR 2003 Cheez-It Cup Series universe, then you're just wanting to win this race for bragging rights. As an example, already locked into the Code Red Series for 2018 is Gabe Nunes in this 24 car, going to be driving the 42 Twix machine next time you see the driver of that car. Anyway, But as you can see, the field really strung out now. Vince Lewis remains the final transfer spot. Looking like he's gonna make it. But there is a bit of a goddamn Powerball tickets falling off of my desk. It looks like the 64 back there. There's 2 64 cars in this race, so you know it's a good race. Looking like he might try and challenge there. But up front, like I said, the 92 trying to close in on the rear end of that 64 car, but not doing a very good job of it. It's going to be close between the final transfer spot, though. Advancing automatically to the A-main will be NASCAR legend on up. But it looks like Vince Lewis is going to be able to do it here. As we have 2 laps remaining in this first of 5 preliminary heats. This is the smallest field. It's only going to get bigger from here. 62 closes in on the rear end of Kiwi. And it looks like these guys are going to be just fine as we've come to the white flag sponsored by Credit One Bank lap for the first of 5 preliminary heats. Murphy Digert is going to advance to the A-main automatically, along with, I'm pretty sure that's Jenny Lee. Then the 97 of Chris Tejada, I'm pretty sure. Gabe Nunes will advance, and so will NASCAR legend. Going to the B-main will be Carl Edwards, Alex England, Darius Dodger, Kiwi Behunces, and Vince Lewis. So there you have it. And the Ballpark 100 is underway. So there you have it. There are your results for the first of 5 preliminary heats. Let's take it straight to the next one. Let's not waste a second. And welcome back to the Ballpark 100. This is going to be heat number 2. 28 cars in this one. 51. 75, I think, of Eddie Carey, that's going to be. There is the most wins of, well, 3 wins last season in the Twisted Tea Truck Series. Levi McIntyre in the Cup Series this year. T. Johnson there. 44 car. Chris Norcock. Jake Rogers in this one. Someone named Shaw. That's Jesus Plays Madden, or Jesus Plays Madden, however you want that to say. J.J. Roberts. There is Credit 142 right there. As Tails himself, the 2017 Cheez-It Cup Series champion, is in this race. Oil Mate, I don't know if that's what you're supposed to be calling you, but whatever. 8 car, there's Cody Kirsten, he's in the Cheez-It Cup Series this year. A bunch of strong-looking race cars getting ready. Nick Landerson, that is going to be his main scheme when we get to the next season of Code Red. But let's get to the front of the field as the pace car's taking the hard left turn down pit road. Top 5 advance to the A main. The rest of the top 10 goes to the B main. This race is underway. So there you have it. 51 has the early advantage as Levi McIntyre tries to get underneath the 75 car. Now Levi McIntyre won the Eldora race in trucks last season in 2017, so he knows how to get it done at Eldora. He might try and come in and spoil the race for all of these guys in the field, for all we know. So there would be Jake Rogers would be the final driver to advance to the A-main automatically if this race were to end now. And here's the rest of your top 10 looking strong thus far. The Cheez-It Cup Series champion Tails trying to get underneath that 18 car, and he's going to do it. Look at the strength out of that 19 car. Goes to the inside of Jesus, however the fuck. I don't know if that's heretical or something. Heretical, Jesus Christ. But the 51 has the early advantage here. Levi McIntyre, it's taken over that second position. As the battle for the final spot in the top 10 continues, Cody Kirsten to the inside of, God, the 14 car. I don't know who was in the position there last time, but this appears to be the battle for the final transfer spot to the B main. Pretty sure that's Ray Storm that's in the 91 right there. Tails is absolutely charging through the field. The champion getting it done on the dirt. As we drop back through the field, the final transfer spot remains Jake Rogers as he tries to get to the inside of Eddie Carey. We are a quarter of the way done with this second of 5 preliminary heats from Eldora. And this is the battle for the transfer spot to the B main, right here between the 91 and 18. And no one's given an inch. There's still plenty of racing left, but you don't want to be caught on the outside. The 19 a little bit squirrely coming out of that final corner there. Ray Storm dropping back. And the new driver in the transfer spot is Jesus Plays Madden. But up front, I'm pretty sure that's Brandon Gregory in the 51. Coming, well, not quite to halfway yet, but getting close. As the top 5 solidly advancing at the moment. And here is your B main drivers if this race were to end now, but the battle for the final transfer spot isn't over yet. And don't forget, you can download all of these schemes in the Google Drive link down in the description. As we continue to look through this field at all these wonderful paint schemes. The result of hours of painstaking labor by 2 parties, mostly toxic though, because I got lazy and stopped doing it about halfway through. Anyway, the battle for the final transfer spot has cooled down as we hit the halfway mark. Nick Landerson, a surprising one on the outside looking in right now. And that Lipton car is going to be on the hood of that 27 GMO racing car in the 2018 Code Red season, guaranteed for Nick Landerson. So Brandon Gregory has an easy lead right now as Levi McIntyre follows in his tire tracks. Pretty sure that's Jake Berg, James Berg, one or the other. Driving the 44 car, he will easily advance into the A main if this race were to end now. Eddie Carey driving the 75, a good looking race car right there. He sits in 4th, and Jake Rogers rounds out the field for the moment. The field that will make the A main automatically. And Credit 142 definitely wants to get into that A main. He's safe and secure in the B main right now, but that's no guarantee. When we reach the A main, it'll be all or nothing. As we continue through the field, there it is, the best football team in the NFL. Excellent choice of sponsorship on the 21 car. We're just about done with this race. Only a quarter of it remains. 5 laps around Eldora will go by fast, especially if you're on the outside looking in. Currently, that driver is Cody Kirsten, right behind the 14 car. That is a Cheez-It Cup Series driver about to be bumped out of the B main and the rest of the Ballpark 100. Tails is going to advance, it looks like. Chris Norconk's going to advance as we jump to the front. Brandon Gregory still has a commanding lead over Levi McIntyre. An easy advancement for all of these drivers. This is where the question is begged. Who is going to be the final transfer spot? 71 doing all that he can to get there, but there's only 2 laps remaining, and this is going to go by fast. Cody Kirsten dropping back as we head to the front. The white flag sponsored by Credit One Bank for the second of 5 preliminary heats is out. Brandon Gregory has the advantage, and all of these drivers are going to advance. The question is, can Cody Kirsten get there? It doesn't look like it right now, but anything can happen in these races. I don't think he's going to get there. Your winner of the second heat is going to be Brandon Gregory, and advancing to the A main. Let's get out of this view and show you everyone who is going to advance. Top 5 automatically advancing to the A main. The 6th to 10th advancing to the B main. So there you have it. There's heat number 2. Let's get to the 3rd heat right now. Someone wrecked. Great job, guys. Welcome back to the Ballpark 100. We have a new field for you, 30 cars in this one, but the criteria for advancing remains the same. Benjamin Roberto is going to start on the pole, your Twisted Tea Truck Series champion, entering this race. Ben Roberts in the 34 back there. Austin Carper driving the 17 car. 530. Lots of fast race cars in this one. Lots of very competitive drivers. And speaking of competitive drivers, the man himself, the owner of Eldora Speedway, Tony Stewart, is participating in this race. Heat number 3 from Eldora in the Ballpark 100. The race is about to get underway. Benjamin Roberto takes the green flag and will bring us to the start of heat number 3. And there you have it. The guy that we're going to want to keep an eye on, though, is that 20 of Tony Stewart. He is on the outside looking in right now alongside Caleb Henderson in the 45. And there are a lot of strong drivers in this race. Tony Stewart has his work cut out for him, that's for sure. as he gets to the inside of Trenton Hull. And he will take over that final transfer spot. Up front, though, it is your Twisted Tea Truck Series champion, Benjamin Roberto. Behind is Ben Roberts. Ben Roberts advancing to the Code Red Series, guaranteed this season coming up. The 530 is right there. Patrick John in the 46, Hunter Carper in the 5. All of these drivers would advance to the A-Main if this race were to end now. Tony Stewart just flying through this field, making a joke out of it, as there he goes past Austin Carper now. As we drop back to Ryan Daugherty and John Malakut. These guys are the final drivers in the cut line to make the B-Main. The final advancer would be John Malakut at the moment. But we jump back to the front, and Benjamin Roberto has absolutely blown the doors off the competition and has taken a commanding lead. Back to Patrick John now. He would be the final driver to advance to the A-Main automatically, but he's being challenged by Brandon Fast right now. Tony Stewart watches on in this, the race that he made possible by having Eldora still exist. Good job, Tony. Patrick John falls outside of the automatically advanced to A-Main section of the top 5. As now we go back, here we go. Leopold Sleek, the angry German kid, is currently your final transfer spot into the B-Main. My goodness gracious, what a champion. He is going to rage his way into victory lane, but Caleb Henderson might have something to say about that as he closes into the rear end of that 32 car. Nearing halfway in the third of 5 preliminary heats from Eldora, Benjamin Roberto is easily eclipsing the field. That Buffalo Wild Wings number 98, good-looking car, may just see it on the 69 at some point in the Cheez It Cup Series season this year. As we drop back to Ben Roberts, second place, a good run. It's all he needs in this round. I think that's Richard Herman, but I'm probably wrong. Hunter Carper and Brandon Fast make up your top 5 for the moment. Let's drop back to that final transfer spot as we are halfway in the third of 5 preliminary heats from Eldora. Angry German kid is holding on as best as he can, but Caleb Henderson knows how to get it done. Caleb Henderson came close to winning a few times in Code Red this season in 2017. He will automatically return to the Code Red series no matter what. The question is, does he have the talent to get to the front and win the Ballpark 100 as Tony Stewart falling victim to Austin Carper now. 20 car had a lot of speed there early, but is dropping back now as he battles to the inside of that 17 car. We'll jump back up to the front, though, and see what's going on there. And it's absolutely nothing. Benjamin Roberto is killing it. No wonder he was the champion. He is just that good, apparently. Stewart finally clears the 17 car as the battle for the final transfer spot continues. Let's drop back through the field and give a look at some of these fantastic paint schemes as we continue to stray further and further back. Many drivers that just didn't have a chance to begin with. An unfortunate demise for them in this, the Ballpark 100. You can't. There's Robbie Rotten. Did he beat cancer? I don't even remember. But he's about to be put a lap down by Benjamin Roberto, so maybe he's still undergoing chemotherapy as we speak while he drives this race car. So there you have it. There goes the one car. But we drop back to this final transfer spot, and the battle has let up just a bit. Advantage goes to the angry German kid. But it ain't over till it's over. Caleb Henderson trying to advance to the B main. Not a battle going on for the A main transfer spots. Ben Roberts is getting held up a little bit by that one car. But this is the battle that everyone's watching to transfer to the B main. Who is going to get it? As we come to the white flag sponsored by Credit One Bank for this, the third of 5 preliminary heats. Benjamin Roberto has it locked up like no one's business. Brandon Fast, the final of the 5 that will transfer automatically to the A main. As Benjamin Roberto crosses the line to win preliminary heat number 3. The angry German kid will advance to the B main, and Caleb Henderson gave it his all, but just couldn't catch that 32 car. So there you have it. There are the drivers that will advance to their respective heats. We'll go to heat number 4. Another 30 car field. Another person hits the wall immediately as the race ends. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Ballpark 100 from Eldora, the 4th of 5. Preliminary heats about to begin. Luke Perkowski is on the pole of this one, followed by Ray Finkel in that 28 car. Lots of strong contenders in this one. And there's a bunch of cars in this race. A lot of these I made, as a matter of fact. Very good looking race cars that are about to hit the racetrack. Corbin Forrester is in this one. He's driving the 24. Justin Allgaier in the 12. But those guys have a serious disadvantage that they need to figure out if they're going to get to the front of this one and win their way into the Ballpark 100. This race is underway. Luke Perkowski takes the lead immediately. The 19 of Stephen Pickett, I'm pretty sure, is going to take over the second position. Ray Finkel drops back. So does the 500 of Who Flung Poo. A fantastic name for that driver right there. Michael McMichael takes to the inside of the 28 car. This is the battle for the final transfer spot into the A main. The 39 takes advantage for now, but let's drop back here and take a look at the final transfer spot into the B main. Looks like the 9 car is outside looking in at the moment. No, the 9 car is the final car, and the outside looking in as John Prito takes it to the inside, and that's 64 car. They're 3 wide for the final transfer spot. And the big loser here is going to be Max Power in the 888. Dropping all the way outside of the top 10 here. And Caden Mathis, Martinsville winner in the Code Red Series in 2017. Takes to the inside of the 9 car to get into the final transfer spot. 500 of Who Flung Poo continues to drop a bit. As he is now, or she, I don't judge, is the final transfer spot. Speed Racer style, gonna try and hang on to that final spot there. But to the inside goes Corbin Forrester. 3-time winner in the Cheez-It Cup Series last season. Corbin Forrester to the inside of Who Flung Poo. And now into the final transfer spot into the B main. Let's go back to the front and see if anything's changed here. And Luke Perkowski continues to pace the field. 2nd place, Stephen Pickett. 3rd place, Ray Finkel. Michael McMichael 4th. And rounding out your top 5, I'm pretty sure that's Patrick Alexander. Morgan Weeb is 6th. Harry Bob is 7th. Caden Mathis 9th, 8th I mean. John Prito is 9th. And Corbin Forrester rounds out your top 10. But Luis Torres going to try to get to the inside of that 24 car. And the 16 is going to look to break into the final transfer spot. Right behind them, though, Jordan Forbes started way in the back. Starting to make his way up towards the transfer spot. Jared Lewis also started way in the back. This has been a very fluid running order for this one. As we continue to drop back and take a look at all these paint jobs. Justin Allgaier not having a very good day. 3 wide for the final spot here. Matt Skipper, a Cup Series driver, but currently is not having a good day as we hit halfway in the 4th of 5 preliminary heats from Eldora. So, the top 5 positions pretty well settled at the moment. Definitely the final transfer spot is the biggest spot of question as John Prito's falling. Luis Torres to the inside, going to try and take over that final transfer spot in that 16 Pontiac. 2 very similar looking cars there. And there you have it, Luis Torres. Final transfer spot. But Luke Perkowski continues to pace the field for now as we continue to take a look at these paint schemes that are all very good. And don't forget that you can download them in the Google. Oh, the Google Drive link in the bottom. John Prito goes back to the final transfer spot. This gives Jordan Forbes the advantage over Luis Torres. The 61 moves into 11th. And we'll get to the inside of John Prito. I didn't think that was going to happen. The battle for the final transfer spot is getting serious in this race. To the inside, Jordan Forbes had the final transfer spot that time by, and it's been a three-way battle for this final transfer spot for the past few laps. What a strong showing out of the 61 to come from very far back in the field and get up there. Currently in the transfer spots for the B main are Jordan Forbes, Corbin Forrester, Caden Mathis, Patrick Alexander, and Harry Bobb. Morgan Weeb, Michael McMichael, Ray Finkel, Stephen Pickett, and Luke Perkowski will automatically advance to the A main should this race end now, and we're getting really close for that to happen. Here we take a look at the battle for the final transfer spot. Luis Torres had it, and then lost it, and then took it back, and has lost it once more. It's been a tough battle for this 16 car, but can he come back and get it? We have 3 laps remaining. 2 if you count Luke Perkowski hitting the line right about now in that Vic Firth 42. Luke Perkowski will return to the Twisted Tea Truck Series this season in 2018. But this is the battle for the final transfer spot. The white flag, sponsored by Credit One Bank, is flying for the 42 car. He's going to easily come back to the line and win this heat. But this is the big question. A little bit loose out of that final corner for Jordan Forbes. Down the back stretch, I think he's got it. We'll jump back up to the front to see Luke Perkowski take the checkered flag. Morgan Weeb rounds out the drivers that will remain in the A main. Jordan Forbes rounds out the drivers that will take to the B main. Coming up right after this next heat, we will have the B main and then the A main. But for now, these are your drivers that will advance to whichever heat that they want to advance to. Actually, it doesn't work that way. You know what I'm trying to say, though. We'll be right back with some more Ballpark 100 after these commercial messages. It's the final of 5 preliminary heats from Eldora. The final 5 that will transfer automatically to the A main. The final 5 that will automatically transfer to the B main. Scott McCann is going to be on the pole of this one as we drop back through the field. James Hetfield in this one. Another celebrity guest appearance in the Cheez-It universe. David Bowie will run in this heat. There he is, the driver that made everything possible. Tip Foster, 47 car. Be sure to thank him in the comments section. As we continue to drop back through the field and take a look at all these race cars. The race is underway. The final preliminary heat from Eldora is underway. And Scott McCann has the advantage at the start. To the inside, Ronnie Lazzarine, Cheez-It Cup Series driver of the 40 car next season. He'll take over second place as we drop back to the final transfer spot here. Cameron Tracy in the 44 car sits 9th, it looks like. Yes, indeed. David Bowie might be your final. Ooh, bit of smoke there. Doesn't look like anyone's wrecked, though. We'll continue under green. And David Bowie is the final car in the final transfer spot. But he'll try and get... I don't know what that smoke is all about. He'll try and get past James Hetfield to be the final car. Here comes Kenny Benson. A quality race car right there. As we drop back through the field and take a look at all of these fantastic paint schemes. Most of them made possible by the driver of this car right here. Except for this one. I am definitely proud that I made this one. I am proud that I made that one and no one else did. Trickle Dickle there, back in the back there. He will return to the Twisted Tea Truck Series in 2018. Scott McCann, on the other hand, is looking for a ride to get back into one of these series. Spent the season of 2017 in the Code Red Series, but does not automatically return. But with a win in this race, he definitely would return, as a matter of fact. David Bowie continues to trek up through the field as the final transfer spot is currently Frony to Bob in there. He's to the inside of Kenny Benson. I'm not sure what happened to... There's James Hetfield. He was in the final transfer spot there. As we continue to take a look there. There's Stone Cold Steve Austin in the back here. 316. Fantastic number. if I've ever seen one. And there you have it. There's the whole field as we're nearing halfway in this race. Ronnie Lazzarine still second to Scott McCann. Will Brady, I'm pretty sure that is, sits in the third position. Matt Deal will return to the 28 car in the Code Red Series. As we drop back to the final transfer spot, there it is. It's a battle for ninth more so than the final transfer spot right now as we hit halfway in the final preliminary heat at Eldora. Now after this race, we'll take to the B main, and if I've done my calculations correctly, 5 drivers from there will automatically advance to the A main, and then we'll be able to settle it for the Ballpark 100. And we've seen a lot of strong cars up at the front of this field. Lots of 42s. So that's going to be wonderfully confusing. Oh, now we're having a battle for the final transfer spot. Is that Patrick Smith? Who knows? But he's trying to catch the rear end of that 13 of Frony Tobabin Trump America car. I'm sure there's a lot of people at this track that would love to see that car in victory lane, and a lot of people at this track that would like to see that car set on fire and never be seen again. I'm not going to judge either way. That's just me, though. 6 laps remains in this final of 5 preliminary heats, and 67's doing everything he can to get there, but he just can't find a way around the 13 car. We'll go back up to the front and see if anything interesting is going on there, and that is not the case. Let's go back here. Round and around they go. I'm glad Kenny Benson's going to advance. That car is just too good to not advance. Wonder what number you'd pick between if you had advanced to the Code Red Series as a result of winning the Ballpark 100. 67's dropping back. One of the many 88s is trying to take advantage now. James Hetfield coming back up through the field, but it might be too late for him. William Riley in the back here. In the sights of Scott McCann, but I think the race is going to be too short for lap traffic to come into play. 2 laps remain in the final of 5 preliminary heats from Eldora. And no battles going on back here. Everyone's pretty content to ride it out to the final lap. Speaking of the final lap, we've reached that. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Scott McCann takes the white flag. And it's looking pretty solid that this is going to be our lineup heading into the B main. Scott McCann will come out of turn 4 and win the 5th and final preliminary heat from Eldora. And it's settled. The final field order has been determined. Scott McCann will advance to the A main. So, up next is the B main, where we'll determine who will go. The final 5 cars that will go to the A main. Welcome back. This is the B main. The top 5 drivers will advance to the final heat. The A main. It's not a heat. It's the actual race. So 5 drivers out of this 25 car field, only 5 will advance, and there's a lot of strong cars here because they all made the B main. So obviously they got to have some sort of strength. Tony Stewart starting way in the back. I don't know if he'll be able to do it. He gave it a good shot, but some of these drivers are just going to be too good for him as we hit the green flag in the B main. Now, Tim Johnson, whoever his name is, he's got his work cut out for him because that's the Cheesy Cup Series champion from 2017 to his outside. Now Vince Lewis goes to the inside of Tails and will try and take over 2nd place. 2 Cup drivers behind this 314 car. Now that takes some effort to keep ahead of these guys. Wow, really loose for Jordan Forbes there. As Patrick John goes to the inside of Matt Deal and will take over the final transfer spot. That is right. 5 cars advancing to make it a 30-car field for the Ballpark 100. The question remains, who is going to win? Who is going to be in the Code Red Series guaranteed in 2018? As Patrick John slips below the 61 of Jordan Forbes, that'll bump him back to the final transfer spot. And it's a battle for 6th now. I think that's actually Parker Alexander, and I was mistaken earlier. Anyway, he's to the inside of the Angry German Kid, so good for him. Harry Bob right in the back there. I hope he wins. I like the name Harry Bob. Good job, whoever did that. Carl Edwards also in this situation. Lots of strong drivers in the back. Tony Stewart's doing his best. He's starting the second to last row, and he's all the way up to 15th. Ooh. Oh no, that's just a battle within the transfer section. Patrick John will drop back. Parker Alexander is on the outside looking in at the moment, trying to fix that as they head around this. How big is Eldora? Is this a 3/5 mile? I don't fucking know. He's Tom Johnson's up front. Vince Lewis, Tails, Jordan Forbes, and Patrick John are your current advancers. As we continue to drop back through this field, we see a lot of strong cars that could have won this race. Had some different situations played out in their favor. But instead, they are in the back. And there you have it. Nearly halfway in this, the B main. My goodness gracious, as they continue to roll around this racetrack. It's looking pretty solidly that this is going to be the 5 that advance as we hit the halfway mark. But the 39 is starting to close in on that rear end of Patrick John. This could change within an instant. And you can see something entirely different happen in this race. I don't know. I'm trying to make this as interesting as possible. But these guys are having themselves a ball right now. Speaking of ball, this is the Ballpark 100. It's real. This isn't pretend. You're not dreaming. These guys are doing their best, though. They've got some strong race cars underneath them. Do you think any of these guys that are in this B main could advance from the B main into the A main and win the race? Well, I guess it all depends on where they qualify, to be honest. That's probably the biggest thing they got going here, because what you got in this series at Eldora, that kind of stuff, you've got literally the opposite of a pole sitter's curse. It's the pole sitter's blessing. We have not seen a single pass for the lead this entire race thus far. In any heat, in any instance of this race, we have not seen a pass for the lead. We haven't even seen anyone come close to the lead, for that matter. Experimentation, man, experimentation. This entire idea of a race was an experimentation, though, so what you gonna do? As we continue to drop through this field and take a look at some of these good-looking race cars. That's the pace car. Look at the race cars. I know cars in both names, but you can't be that stupid, right? As we look at all these race cars. But that is your leader, the 14. Anyway, the Ballpark 100 A main is coming up next. 30 cars will duke it out. To determine who... Stop looking at the pace car. To determine who will be the final Code Red Series driver. The final transfer spot right now is Patrick John in the 46. 39 ain't giving up, but it's gonna be... It's coming down to the wire. Stop looking at the stupid pace car. It's coming down to the wire. If you're gonna win this and win your way in, you're gonna have to do it quickly, because it's not looking good for a lot of these drivers. So, 2 laps remain, 1.5 on track for the backstretch for the 14 car. He's going to come out of turn 4 and win the B main, take the checkered flag, and will advance. Vince Lewis will advance, Tails will advance, Jordan Forbes will advance, and Patrick John will advance. These drivers advancing to the final. The A main. The winner take all. All that good stuff. Yes, indeed. So who's going to have a guaranteed ride next season? Well, you're just going to have to stick around and find out. We'll be right back with the final heat in the Ballpark 100. See you in a minute. Hello and good evening, YouTube. Welcome back to the Ballpark 100. You may be wondering why this looks a little bit odd, to say the least. Well, excitement. Excitement is a many-letter word. I think it's a 10-letter word, but I'm probably wrong because I'm stupid. Anyway, the point is, we're at a figure 8. There's a reason for this. The Ballpark 100, you see, we would have determined the winner of said Ballpark 100, probably literally immediately as the race began and we saw who takes the lead in a turn 1 for 20 laps. You know, we know who's going to win this. So in an effort to make this more exciting, we are going to do this on a figure 8. Now, yes, there's only 29 cars that can fit on this track, so I have taken out tails for the sake of putting this between the drivers that signed up and the drivers that chose to sign up. Up to the front, though, it's a battle between Ben Roberts and Scott McCann. Scott McCann is racing to get into the Code Red Series guaranteed this coming season. Ben Roberts is already locked in with a good-looking Biff Enterprises number 32, to say the least. So we'll see as this race continues here. We haven't seen many impacts in the center yet. We're just waiting for it to happen as someone's underneath the ground here. I thought that... Oh, they're 3 wide from the lead. Into the wall goes Vince Lewis. He actually keeps it off the wall. And to the lead goes NASCAR legend into 64. The 97 moves to second. Hunter Carper is third. And there's still 3 wide back there. Lots of action as the 42 of Ronnie Lazzarine sits on pit road. But that's fine. He's already a cup driver. Ooh, impact in the center. Jake Rogers. Big impact in the center for these drivers. Ooh. The 97 tries to get to the inside. This is the battle for the win. Oh, another impact in the center. No. No impact in the center. Let's just say here and see if... Nope. Terrible camera angle. No, we can't see the goddamn... Oh, Ronnie Lazzarine. We came just in time to see Ronnie Lazzarine destroy the 224 of Gabe Nunes to the lead. Bund. Tim Bund? I don't know his name. Impact in the center. Austin! Oh my goodness gracious. Up at the front. Big wreck! And Michael McMichael is suddenly leading the Ballpark 100. An impact where Hunter Carper went inside of another driver. They're still connected. Distracted us from the leaders, the top 3 drivers taking each other out. Now Ben Roberts has to track down Michael McMichael if he's going to have any hope of winning the Ballpark 100. And the camera just does not want to cooperate. More impacts, it sounds like, in the wall there. Morgan Weed trying to get to the outside of the 34 Ben Roberts now. Levi McIntyre as well here. He knows how to get it done on dirt, but does he know how to get it done at a figure 8 track? If the camera would go to a car that I actually want to look at, for God's sake, man. Because, see, this camera angle is just horrible. I mean, it's not horrible, but you just can't see anything going on in the actual race. That's not a good camera angle either. I guess the helmet cam on the 00 of Michael McMichael is about the best that we can do in this situation. As we took a look out the rear end of this car, the left side of this car, and the right side of this car for that matter. There's a lot of cameras on these race cars. But it looks like Michael McMichael has a commanding lead at the moment. Save anything crazy going on in the center of this track, I think you got to give it to the 00 Michael McMichael for the Ballpark 100. Let's keep the camera on the 00 as we continue around this racetrack. Halfway in the A main. And Michael McMichael has it at the moment. This is a strong, commanding... Lots of cars out. This is a 2-second lead. Over, actually, it's Levi McIntyre in second right now. He's in the Cup Series guaranteed, and behind Levi McIntyre, Jordan Forbes, the 03 of, I don't know, nope, never mind. There goes Jordan Forbes into the wall. The 61 had a strong effort. That 61 Nesquik car will make an appearance in the 2018 Code Red Series season. Michael McMichael, he just really has to keep it off the wall, and he's got this on lockdown. Ooh! Vince Lewis in the center there. That was too close for comfort for the 00 car right there. He's just got to be careful in the center section, and he's got it. Oh, it's getting closer. No, actually, it was a lot less close that time by between him and Vince Lewis. But for now, Michael McMichael is staring at a Code Red Series car. Oh my goodness, that one was closer though. And Levi McIntyre is right behind this, watching on. You can barely see him down there when behind the whatchamacallits. Now in the center! Wow! I cannot believe the 00 has not been made impacted, as there's more and more cars in the center every time he goes by. It continuously gets harder and harder for Michael McMichael. That time by was a lot easier. I think Levi McIntyre is gone. I think he's left us, because the 97 is now in second place. Ooh, major impact! All of this happening in front of our leader. Right in front of our leader. He's dodged so many bullets. I have lost count of how many bullets he's dodged at this point. Pretty simple that time through there, as we're coming to 3 laps to go now. This time by 3 laps remain in the Ballpark 100. A year long waiting for this race to happen. Years, 140 entries. Into the wall goes Michael McMichael and the 97, and on by goes Alex Johanning. Out of nowhere, the 03 of Alex Johanning has taken the lead in the Ballpark 100 with 2 laps to go this time by. What in the world was that? He's really slow. The rest of the field catching up. Luke Perkowski, Stephen Pickett. I think that's Brandon Greger. No, that's Brandon Fast behind them. Into the wall goes Stephen Pickett. Luke Perkowski to second, but your leader is Alex Johanning with 1 lap to go in the Ballpark 100. Coming to the line, the white flag sponsored by Credit One Bank lap. In the Ballpark 100 at Raleigh, apparently. Luke Perkowski is trying to track down that 03. He's got no! Into the wall goes the 42, and back to second is Michael McMichael. But it's not going to be enough. Alex Johanning going to come out of the final corner. The winner of the Ballpark 100 is Alex Johanning, the 03 Tostitos Mountain Dew Pontiac. That is the winner of the Ballpark 100. My goodness gracious. They said it couldn't be done. They said that you couldn't have a series where anyone could enter. You couldn't have 140 entries and put on a competent show. They did not expect a figure 8. Alex Johanning is the winner of the Ballpark 100 after all these months. After all this time of waiting, the 03 of Alex Johanning is the winner of the Ballpark 100 and will get a guaranteed ride in the Code Red Series as long as he claims it in the comments section. And that guy is extremely dead, whoever that was. Might I add. Might I add that whoever that is extremely dead. So there you have it. There's your top 10 for the A-Main and the Ballpark 100. It all came down to this final trip through Raleigh. But Alex Johanning is the winner of the Ballpark 100. Thanks for joining us on Kamikaze Game Sports Network. The 2018 NR Universe, Cheez-It Universe, has begun. And there's no victory lane celebration because, of course, there isn't.